Okay, guys, my name is Deidre Norton, and I am your platinum leader with Team Skyline, and my team is Team Powerhouse. So I want to welcome all of you today. Thank you for joining me. We are going to be doing a training on beginners for pleasant holidays. I do want to make sure that all of you are registered with Pleasant Holidays. If you're not, then after the training, you are going to want to go and make sure that you register for them. They are a very good alternative to Vax and Vacation Express for all-inclusive vacations just about anywhere. I do use them quite often. Sometimes I find that they are even cheaper than some of my quotes that I do in Vax. So it's all personal preference. It's what you get used to, but it is a fairly easy, simple platform to use. We're going to be doing a booking and then we're going to save a quote. So I'm going to show you all how to do that. Brittany, I know that you just joined in, so thank you for joining me today. We're having everyone enter their information in the chat. So just enter your name and your mentor, of course, so we all know who everyone is. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I am going to share my screen, so give me just a minute, please. So as I said, Pleasant Holidays is a great platform to use. You can see once you get logged in, there is a tab for agent resources. If you click on this, it will give you tabs that you can click on to kind of learn. It gives you destination flyers that you can download and view for marketing materials. It gives you a tab for booking incentives. There's a social media toolkit. You can download brochures. So every supplier typically always has these areas in their supplier platforms that you're able to utilize and use for marketing. All right. There's also tutorials that you can take in here as well. I do highly recommend for all of you to actually take advantage of these so that you can learn. This teaches you how to do a multi-destination and multi-component itinerary. You can quickly search and compare options, create and update online quotes, 2 easy ways to pay. So I do highly recommend that all of you go to your resource tab once you get registered. They have a lot of training materials in here. So again, you can see all the tabs on the left. It'll show your bookings, you set up your profile, all your agency details. Whenever you register with Pleasant Holidays, it's very important for you to make sure that you enter the proper credentials when registering. So when going to register for them, if you haven't already, make sure that you follow the instructions in the Travel Cafe under the USA Suppliers tab. All right. We have someone else joining us. Brittany, I see you, girl. Let me just get my chat box moved over so I can kind of keep up with it. So I'm not sure who just entered, but if you could do me a favor, enter your name. Looks like maybe Vicky. If you haven't entered your name and your mentor's name in the chat box, do that for me, please. Okay. And then, as I said, we are ready to roll. So again, utilize these things in here. You've got anything that you could possibly need. You can do your tabs by vacation deals. You can do vacation rentals, all-inclusive vacations, destinations. There was a group travel tab in here. Cruises. Excuse me. I don't recommend really doing any cruises in here. Always go to your cruise supplier platforms to do your cruises. We do have cruises available in different suppliers, but don't ever book a cruise through those. Go to your supplier platform for cruises to book your cruises, okay? Activities in here if you want. Anytime I book a vacation or do a quote for someone after I do the booking for their activities, I always send them my Viator or a Project Expedition link, one of those. Let them kind of search for what they want. If they want you to do the work for them, then you can provide them some activities afterwards. You're still going to earn commissions on that, okay? So let's go ahead and start. As I said, I have a booking that I'm already going to do. Hello, Vicki. Thank you for joining us. You're with Becky. Okay. So I have a quote for a honeymoon. I'm doing several different quotes, and this is a particular resort that I'm going to look for today. All right. So I'm going to do flight, hotel, and transfers. So what we'll do, obviously, is flight and hotel. With it being your transfer, you don't include car unless they want a rental car. That's not typical for an all-inclusive vacation. Normally they just want transfers to and from the airport. You know, once we get to our all-inclusive resort where we are, you typically don't have to leave your resort. So only if they ask for a car would you include a car in this quote. So my clients are going to be leaving from Atlanta. And they are going to be going to Cancun. Okay, so we put in Cancun. And we're going to enter our departing date, which is October 20th through the 27th. Okay, so we have that in. This option here you don't choose because you're doing air and we are doing transfers and the hotel. So we have one room with 2 travelers. If you have children, of course, you would enter that. And my clients have requested direct nonstop flights only. So I am going to choose this tab. If your client has not requested it, or if you ask them before when you're qualifying them, does it matter? Typically for Mexico, Dominican, those places like that, I normally try to offer nonstop flights. If they are on a stricter, what we call budget, then I will include options for another flight option that's not nonstop, just to give them a price comparison. Yes, Vicky, this is being recorded, okay? So I will be dropping the training later. And for those that logged on a little later, I did highly suggest, and I am open to you guys, if you have a question when I'm going through here, unmute yourself, speak up so that we can cover what we need to cover, because I want you guys to be able to absorb what you can. I don't want you to feel like you can't ask any questions. I am big on that. So unmute yourself and ask a question if we're at a section that you need. Also, you're going to have in my bookings area, you can see these right here. These are bookings that I have actually already done. This is one that's actually getting ready to make a final payment and depart. So that's why you see it in red. This is the notification. So what we're going to do is continue moving forward. Is everybody okay right now as far as questions?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So then we're going to click on the tab that says show additional options. If you have a particular hotel name, and I already know the hotel that I'm looking for, but I'm not going to put this in here now because I want to show you how everything pulls up on the screen. I know my clients need transfers and they do want a private transfer because it's their honeymoon. You can choose different types, shared transfer, private van, private minivan. I'm just going to do private transfer for here. And then all we're going to do is click search for flights and hotels. You also can pick up the phone and call Pleasant Holidays directly if you know what you're needing, and they can prepare a quote for you and have it sent over to you so that you can set it up and prepare it to go to your clients. Okay, so if you want to call them, you absolutely can. If I know exactly what I want, I normally will pick up the phone and call that a supplier inside of VAX, Vacation Express, Pleasant Holidays, and let them do that quote quickly for me over the phone. Since I'm doing a honeymoon proposal, I have 3 different options that I'm given, so that's why we're not calling. So we're going to do here, and we're going to click search for flights and hotels. Pleasant Holidays does take a minute to load, but while it's loading, we're just going to let it load. All right, so here we go. You see what it pulled up, even though I put in Cancun, Atlanta, Georgia to Cancun and resorts in the Riviera Maya. All right, so if you don't know a particular resort, this is where you can search and you can maybe see what you want to pick on. All right. So as you can see on my page, I'm not going to scroll too fast, but it gives you all of the resort options that you could choose from. Okay. See, some are going to be Frontier. I'm going to be choosing Delta because I know that's what my clients want to travel with. I'm going to show you how to do that. So you see how this is done, right? It gives you pages and pages and pages and pages of resorts. So there's your options for your resorts. Okay. Now I am going to scroll back up here because I do have the one I want to do. So I'm going to click right here. And I am going to enter when it loads. If it loads. Because I don't want to go through, oh, let's do it this way. Search here. Don't tell me it's going to give me fits today. There we go. Hotel name. And this is the quote I did earlier with Live Opera. So we're going to do TRS Coral Hotel. All right, and see, when you hit enter, it actually pulled it up right here for you. Okay. If you click on this link right here, it will take you to the actual page so you can get some ideas, photos, see what it's about, gives you all the information. Since I already have that pulled up, I am going to go back. Now, I know that they want Delta, so you see what this is giving you. Frontier. Frontier's fine. I use it. I fly on it. My husband and I go to Cancun 3 or 4 times a year. I do use Frontier. Haven't had any issues. But my clients requested Delta. So we're going to do right here because I want to change the flights. So I'm going to do view and change flights. And then it is going to pull up my different flight options. So this is going to be for your departure flight. So I know I want Delta. You see this one, I don't like the 6:15 departure. Who wants to travel late at night and get somewhere late at night? So we're going to keep scrolling on down. 11:15 a.m. This looks pretty good. I'm going to choose 11:15. They will arrive in Cancun at 12:48. Once you get to the airport, Cancun is pretty simple. Transportation is great. You're typically at your hotel after you get in the van and get going. 30 minutes after or so. So you still have some of the day to be able to enjoy. So I am going to choose 11:15 because, of course, as you see, the more you scroll, the different flights that you pick and choose, the price increases. Let's see what this one is. 27.30. Yeah, it does go up. 9:45 would not be bad. I'm actually going to pick this 9:45 because it puts them in Cancun at 11:20. All right, so I'm going to choose select this departure. And then it's telling us to choose our return flight. So we see we have our departing flight right here. So we're going to scroll down and look for our return flight. They're going for a week. Do I want to choose 8:15 a.m.? Typically, after I've been somewhere a week, the day I'm supposed to leave, I'm ready to go ahead and get up, get breakfast, get checked out, and get to the airport. They will have to be at the airport by 6:15. So they'll have to get up kind of early. You see the difference in the prices, 27.30 versus 28.18. So let's just see what that difference is. 28.18 minus, it's an $88 difference. That's not that much. If it's over 100, I typically will stick with the lower price, but I am going to give them a 12:25 p.m. Them having to be at the airport, if I chose this flight at 6:15, that means they probably are going to have to be picked up 4:30, 4:45 at the resort. That is kind of early. Okay. So I'm going to choose this 9:15 departure flight. Select. All right, so let's see. The transfer you requested has a different price for your selected hotel. Your total price has been adjusted accordingly. Okay, no big deal. So we see right here, basic package, lowest category room, all right, is we have a total price of $56.36 right now. So I do know what room that I want to price them. So you're going to scroll down. Hey, Amanda, I see that you just joined us. Okay, so this is recorded, by the way. So we have right here our departing flight, 9:45, arriving at 11:19, leaving Cancun, 12:25, arriving back in Atlanta at 4:13. And here we go. One night, one room, 7 nights, 2 adults. Okay. So here you can see all the different room options. You also can click here, and it is going to give you photos that you can use. It gives you a description of the hotel. And this is just going to be a junior garden suite. So I am going to go back to where we were. It is an adult only, which is what they wanted as well. So that's very important. That's something you always want to ask. If your clients want adult only, typically for honeymoons, that's what I suggest, unless they're, again, on a very limited budget. So the price that you see here, this $56.36, this is for a junior suite garden view. Means it's not going to be beachfront, it's not going to be ocean view, it's not going to be oceanfront, it's going to be facing the gardens, which some people may be perfectly fine with that. You know, I always ask my clients, how much time are you going to spend in your room? How important is that to you? What location on the resort do you choose to be? You know, I'm a beach person. I love the ocean. Most of the time I try to get an oceanfront, ocean view because that's just me. But there have been times, price wise, that we chose a different room category because it may not be that important. You're going to be on the resort during the day, hanging out, excursions, etc. But I do know for a fact that my clients have requested a quote for a loft suite beachside ocean view. So here we go. Okay. So you can see by choosing this, it is going to add $162 a night to this package. You can see more room types on here if you click. And then it lists you all of them. All right. They also have a junior swim up suite, which I'm going to quote later. You got a swim up beachside, jacuzzi terrace. Okay. So you have all sorts of, so we're going to do a loft suite beachside ocean view. Okay. So I'm going to select this room because that's what I want to do. You also can add different room categories to a list and be able to present that to your clients. But because I'm doing a specific one with this hotel, I'm just going to choose select. See right here, it means you get full commission. Okay. So we're going to hit select. And then what's going to bring us to the next page. Again, you see what it did to the price. So it brought the total price to $69.20. Okay. Now, you also can click on room details. So this particular suite is a two-story suite near the beach with a jacuzzi on the terrace with sea views. It includes a separate living room, second toilet, and personalized services, which means you're going to have concierge, butler some of the time, then breakfast bar, wine cooler, butler service, and turn down service. So this is a honeymoon. This is why I'm offering my clients this package, because I kind of know what they're after. We have quoted some sandal stuff and they wanted some other options. So that's the way that you see that. So then you're going to scroll on down and we are going to do add special request. So I know for a fact that we are going to be honeymoon couple. We're going to choose celebrating special occasion. And that's about it. Save. And then we're going to do, it should give you an option to do bedding. We don't have to worry about because we know this room type is going to be a king size bed, obviously. So let's continue. Once we continue, it's going to bring you to the options to where you can add your insurance. I always recommend include your insurance in your package up front. Let your clients know what's included. So what I will tell my client is this is all inclusive, 7 nights. Insurance and transfers are included in your price. If they choose to decline insurance and they want to back it out, if they ask you what it is, you're going to be able to know. So this is $189 a person. I typically will give them the option of cancel for any reason for a future travel credit. Obviously, if I go on a trip and I get insurance and I have to cancel, I'm obviously going to take that again. You don't find many people that want this whole cashback option. All right. So that's, you see the difference in price. So it's $189 per person. So you could just let your clients know if you choose to decline trip protection, you can take off X amount of dollars. If they decline insurance, it's very important for you to make them send, what I do is send them an email, and I have clients that do it, but I continue to stress, please get insurance. If they say no, they don't want it, I send them an email. Per our discussion, you have declined travel insurance. Could you please reply back confirming that you do not want to purchase travel insurance? That way, when something happens, God forbid, that they have to cancel, emergency comes up, medical, and they don't have any insurance and they lose their trip, they can't come back and blame you because you have it in writing that they declined that insurance. Very, very important, guys, for you to remember to do that. So here we have our options for our transfers. Obviously, they want transfers, but just what you choose if you don't. Shared transfer, you could back it down to this. I know that they want private transfer. I don't really know what the difference in a van or private will be. Private's private to me, so I'm not going to choose this for my clients. I'm going to leave it at this. It's $40.39 per person. It is round trip. And then we're going to scroll on down here. And you can see excursions. You can include some excursions if you want, but 9 times out of 10, your clients are concerned about getting a book, and then they want to think about what they want to do after. So that's why I use my Viator, my Project Expedition, Tourator, anything for those excursions afterwards, because you can still book those after the fact, and you can still earn commissions through any of those platforms, okay? So I just kind of scroll down through all this, and here we go. So for everything that I've done, they've got insurance, they've got round trip transfers. The total package price is $79.28. And you saw that was kind of the best room there. You don't really get a better room there. I love this resort. It's really neat. It's going to be one of my next places I go to. All right, so average person is $36.49. Now, if you click on right here, you can do detailed payment breakdown. When you open this page, this is where you can add additional commission if you choose, okay? So you see right here where it says non-commissionable amount. This is my airfare, because we don't make commission on airfare. Even though it's included in a package, you don't miss it. Look at the total commission that I'm going to get right off the bat for booking this. My commission is going to be $935.39. And obviously we know that we get 80% of that. So if you wanted to earn the full $935, you can add your own fee in there, and then you will get paid that fee as well. But you have to think about this logically. Depending on how much time you put into a booking, how much time you've worked with a client. If you've already done 4 or 5 different quotes for them and they haven't made up their mind and they tell you, oh, can you quote this for me? Then I typically will add a $50 fee in there just to make up for all that time that you've put in that booking, okay? So that is personal preference. $935.39. We know that we're going to get 80% of that. So we're going to times that by 80%, which means you'll get $748 and some odd cents, 31 cents. So $748. That's pretty good money off one booking. So you obviously want repeat business, so you don't want to outprice yourself. So I'm comfortable with this. Earning $750 on a booking is good with me. As I mentioned, I'm going to show you, if you were to add $50 to it for a fee, and you do update price. So you can see right here too, it shows you when your payments due. So their deposit is going to be due for this quote, March 22nd. And the deposit is going to be $778. Their final payment will be due September 5th of $65.20. So if you click update price, I'm going to show you how it adjusts. Okay. So for the fee, they do take out a little bit. So that's $46.50. So we're going to click OK. Now, what I want you to do, you see how it changed the price. Why did this change? It was 70. I don't know what's going on, y'all. So let's just back this out. Oh, I wrote it backwards. $72.98. I was about to say, somebody help me. Am I crazy? So $72.98. All right. So now let's go back. I want to watch how that price change. I just got messed up. So let's add that $50 if you wanted to do that. And update the price. Now you see what it did? It brought the total price up by $50. But now when you look at the breakdown, it's going to show you that your commission is going to be $935.09, but you are going to get this $46.50 out of this. So you will get all of that, okay? So you'll get the whatever it was minus 80%, and you're going to get $46.50 on top of that. I'm not going to include this. I'm backing it back out again and update the price. That's just kind of show you can add extra commission in something. That's something that you can kind of learn about and you'll be comfortable with. Like I said, it all depends on how much work you put into a particular booking. That's going to determine if you want to add that or not. Okay. So this quote is basically done. We have all of our information in here that we need. I always just kind of scroll back to the top. Make sure we're good. I got my insurance, and we'll scroll back down, and we're going to do, if you want to do a quote, you can do it. You can create a quote. Okay. And what it's going to do is save that quote in your booking section. Or if you were ready to book this right now, with a deposit being prepared to be put on, you would click continue booking this package. So I want to do a quote. So let's click create the quote. Here's all of our same information in here. We know we're good. Same flights that I chose. Private transfer, insurance. Then you just scroll down here and read. And then we're going to do agree and continue. When you click agree and continue, it is going to give you a quote number. I always write my quote numbers down because one thing about Pleasant Holidays, they don't allow you to name that quote, which I'm not a big fan of. So you have to write it down to know which quote is what. And then they're going to email you that quote as well to the email that you have on file. So I have my quote number written down. I have my total package cost. Now you can send the itinerary to yourself. If you send it to yourself, it's going to include your commissions, the breakdown. If you send it to the client, then it's going to not include that and you send it to the client. I do not recommend sending any quote from any platform, Vax, with FunJet, Apple Vacations, all of that being included, Vacation Express, Classic, any supplier. Always email that quote to yourself. Do not email it directly to that client from the platform you're in. Sarah Harvey, we just had this conversation, so now you know what we need to do, all right? The reason we don't do that is because it's okay that they know we're booking with Pleasant Holidays or FunJet or Apple, whatever the case may be, but we don't want to include that information and send that quote to our clients so they receive it and they see the supplier's name that we're actually booking with, because we don't want to take that chance that they're going to see that supplier and go online and look up to see what they can find and then end up booking that without going through you, so that you lose the commission. So that's the biggest reason why we do not send quotes directly from the supplier platforms to our clients, so we don't want them to have that information. Now, I'm going to show you what you can do. So it's a quote has already been sent to me. All right. And this is what I want to show you. Let me go. Let me see. I think it's going to go to this one. I got so many different emails. So if we went back here and we're going to refresh to show you the difference. So the itinerary was sent to me. Okay, there it is. Now, if I click on it, it's going to give you all this stuff. You're going to come down. Here's the itinerary, and here is the terms and conditions page. Now, in order to send this quote, let me make sure I'm on the right one. This was my one earlier. So if you click on this, it's going to pull it up just like this. All right. So what I typically do, let me make sure I can do this from here. Yep. Okay. So this is kind of be a whole nother training, but I'm going to show you kind of really quickly how you can send it. If you were to open this where it says open with Google Docs, I don't like this because let me show you what it does. It opens you up in Google Docs, gives you an actual document that you can edit, which is not bad. And maybe they've actually changed. So you see right here, it showed you an error. And you can change all these. Which I like. So this is actually changed. So now this is not too bad, y'all. So what you want to do, let's see if this is what I was talking about. Let's see if you can take. Oh, it has changed. So this might be a really good, so this is, see, I just learned something new right here today because this did not used to be this way. When you open this up in Google Docs, what it did is it was kind of all jumbled up and it was all crammed together. So they have fixed this, which really pleases me. So now that we can open this up, this is what you would do to send to your client. Okay. We're going to start right here. First of all, we would take out page 1. We would take this out. Okay. And we would take out, I would take out this. Okay. We know their departing date is the 20th. Arranged by me. You could leave that in there. Now we want to take this out. And then watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my travel business name. Here, we want to take this out. We don't want them to have this information. See how I can remove this stuff. Cancel for any reason. Future travel credit is purchased. You can leave that in here. Now we want to take this out. We don't want Archer's information in here. I'm going to put my information. You can leave this out if you want, but I include this on everything. What's wrong with this? Now I'm showing you guys how to do it this way. I use TravelJoy. So for any of you that are interested in exploring TravelJoy, TravelJoy is a travel platform. It's an itinerary planner, a builder. You can do all kinds of things in it. I have a training for that. And I also can provide you guys with a promo link that will give you 50% off of your first 3 months, making it $15 a month as opposed to $30 a month. Being new, a lot of you can't afford any extra expenses. So this is why I'm showing you that you're able to prepare quotes like this, especially with Pleasant Holiday, and how you want to send it to your client. I would normally do this in TravelJoy. I'm not going to go into that because that's a whole nother training, but any of you that are interested in that, when we're done, we can talk about it. If you want that promo link, I'll send it to you. TravelJoy versus Travelify. I have used Travelify in the past. It is much more expensive than TravelJoy. And you can actually do a lot more in TravelJoy than you can in Travelify. I love it. You can actually create your own credit card authorization form in there. So you don't have to do that electronic one through Archer. It's approved and you can customize it. Again, another training. But you guys know how to reach me. I'm on Messenger. Private message me if you have questions about that, if you're interested in that. So here we're going to quote resident. Let's say, let's take out. Let's just take out this. It was done March 22nd. Departure date is the 20th. Itinerary date. We're going to take this out. Okay. What I probably would do right here too is just add this to 27th. And you can set it up however you want. There's no right or wrong here. Okay. So that's their travel dates. They do have this purchase. So I just kind of leave this here. Let's see. So let's take out this. Let's take out this because this is not going to mean anything to them. So this just kind of gives them a synopsis. You might come back up here. Let's see if we can back this out. What happens? Nope, don't want to do that. So see, I'm going to move this over. These kind of things bother me, so I just fix it. Oh, no, that'll work either. So I'm just trying to clean it up. All right, so it won't allow you to put that any closer, but leave that in here. All right, then we have right here. October 20th, 2 passengers, lane cabin on Delta. It's nonstop. Gives you the time. I would probably take out this. No, I'm not going to take it out because this is important information. See, it tells you unable to assign your seats. Please check airline website for further information. Name change is not permitted once booked. And then it says this fare has a $200 cancel change fee once tickets are issued. So this lets your clients be aware that this is the restrictions on this type of ticket that we purchased. Okay, because it's just economy. Let's take out page 2. All right, then it's got our transfers in here, private transfer. I would leave all this information in here. This is for the transportation company. It gives you instructions on what they're supposed to do. Tells you that you need to download this for communication from this company. All right, they talk via WhatsApp. And it tells them also the importance. So this leaves all this information here. So here we go. Details of the room. Special request. And it does tell you, please be advised, yes, we'll be required to pay an environmental fee of 76 Mexican pesos, approximately $460 per night per room. So they'll have to pay this when they check in. It's an extra fee, so it's disclosed. Cancellation policy, here we go. And then let's take out page 3. Transfers back to the hotel. Again, we'll leave all this information in here. And here's your flight back. I will leave all this in here. So here, if it just said Pleasant Holiday, I would take it out. So anywhere that you see Pleasant Holiday, we want to remove because we don't want them to know that supplier that we're using. This is the advantage of doing this. Reservation. I didn't check that, so I'm just going back up here and seeing. Okay, so it's all gone. It's got my information. I could even add my logo on this if I wanted to. I'll show you how. So you could just space down and you could go right here. And then let me just see how quick I can do this. Because this makes it look a little nicer if you have a business logo. Okay. I know it's at the very bottom. This is different. So I'm just going to scroll really quick down. Here's my logo. So I'm just going to do double click. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. What am I doing? Oh, let's see if it's going to load it. Oh, something I copied a while ago. All right, so it's not going to allow me to add this. Normally it does. Well, it's not doing it today anyway. So you can add your logo to this if you want. So here we go. We're all done. It's got all your information. So then, oh, let's take out this page 4. Just make sure you clean it up. Let's see if airfare was not purchased. So I would just take this out. If airfare was not purchased, reservation number and the vacation includes lane transfer, so it just kind of leaves all that. We're just trying to remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to clean up, trying to take out anything Pleasant Holidays. Okay, see right here where it says commissionable amount. This is what you want to take out of here. We don't want that in there. I'll take this out as well. Payments received, none. Net balance due, gross balance due, and then it's got your deposit right here, okay? So all this is on here. I would probably space this down. And then I would probably put the deposit, it's due on the 22nd. And then I'm going to take all the rest of this right here. Whoops, no, we're not. Come on, people. Here, and I am going to take out gross. So total reservation is $79.28. Deposit of $778 is due on March 22nd. And then I would do this. Final payment due, $65.20, and it's due on September 5th of 2024. Guys, remember something else too. Final payments, never tell your client when that final payment is on the actual due date. I back it up 2 weeks prior. That way you have room for error. You have room for when you contact that client, say your final payment's due September 5th, and you call them that week up because for whatever reasons, then you risk that chance of them not making that payment on time. Oh, I forgot. Can you wait till so-and-so? I don't get paid unless you've given them a payment plan and you follow through with that. So what I typically do with my clients is they pay the deposit, leaves a remaining balance. And then what I do from the time I make the deposit, I ask them if they want to do monthly, bi-monthly, how do they want to make their payments? Typically it's monthly. So I will break that $65.20 down until 2 weeks before that final payment is due. So see, it's telling me that that final payment is due on September 5th. So I go to my calendar and I go to the month of September and I look at the 5th. The 5th is on a Thursday. So I go 2 weeks prior. So what I'm going to do is tell them final payment is due August 22nd. So I'm going to back this out and I'm going to do August 22nd, 2004. It won't let me space that over. It makes me crazy. So then you've got a 2 week window to work with them. Protection plan amount, $378. So that just tells them what their insurance is. So if they choose to decline that insurance, you will back that out of that cost. I don't push anybody to decline insurance. We're going to take this out of here. Payment schedule, if you wanted to go ahead and include one, you can. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I normally do it in Travel Joy, so it's a little easier to do it. So I'm just going to take this right here out. Okay, and then all of this, we're going to take out. And then you're done. Okay. Let's take this out. Archer, we do not want that in there. Reservation number is in here a couple of times. I'm backing out of right here. So this gives them the price. So then all you got to do, once you've got this cleaned up and you know you're good to go, you just go back in here. This. And you can share it. Okay. So what you could do is you could click share and you could get a link. Then what you can do is you can take this and go back to your email and you do compose, and I'm going to just do it to myself. And you put subject, quote, TRS, Coral, Cancun. And then you can write a note. Here is your quote for the all-inclusive. You could put, doctor it up, but then all you have to do is paste. And then you can tell them, click on this link to view your quote. Okay, so let's just send it. Now it's telling you, share with people. I'm sharing it with that person. Allow anyone to view the link. We don't really care about that because we only want the person who we're sending it to as a viewer. You don't want to give them comment. You don't want to make comments. You don't want to let it edit it. So you leave it as viewer, and we're going to click send. Now, when your client receives it, this is what it's going to look like when they get it. Oh, I sent it to here. So when you send this to your client, and they open it up, they click on it, they're going to see it. They can either click here or they can click here. And guess what? Everything that we just did is all right here. It has no information in it that they don't need. And it's got your information. One thing I didn't add was my phone number. Make sure you always add your phone number in this information. So that is how you can prepare a quote so that you don't have the supplier's information in that quote. Now, let me get back to where we are. Pleasant holidays. All right. Does anyone have any questions? I kind of went really in depth with what I wanted to show you, but I think it's important for you guys to know why you don't send quotes directly from your suppliers. Anybody want to unmute? Anybody have any questions? Nobody has any questions for me?
You did good explaining everything.
Oh, okay. So how easy do you think that was?
I think it was pretty easy. It was I liked it.
Yeah, so I mean, our go-tos for beginners are Vax, Vacation Express. You know, it's just as simple to, you're welcome, Joe. I'll drop the recording. It's just as easy to do a quote in Vax and Vacation Express as well once you get used to it. But Pleasant Holidays to me is very easy. Now there's 100 other things you could do in this platform, but this was for beginners. This was just to get you guys started so that you knew the basics and I could show you how simple it was to actually book a vacation. Now we're done with this. We
Yeah,
know
I'm glad I know about it.
huh?
Oh, sorry. I'm glad that I seen that now. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was that easy.
All right, so then we're going to go back to the main page. If you want to go back and look up this quote, right? We know we got our quote number. It ends in 3893. I've got several, so I'm going to have to click view all. And then when I want to refer back to this, because my client has asked for something else or they're ready to book, we're going to go to that quote number right here. We're going to click on it. And again, it gives you the option. You can view the itinerary again. You can send the itinerary to yourself, to your client, which we know we don't do. Or if you're ready to book this quote, I could click book this quote. And then you would go through the process. When you click book this quote, if they have not deposited by that due date of that deposit, then prices are subject to change. Always too, when you include, let me go back right here. Always when you in here, what we should have added on this up here is, or even in your email, always, always, always. This is a quote only. Prices and can you spell V-I-L-I? Prices and availability are subject to change until booking is secured with a deposit. That way, you've got it covered. Okay? Make sure you add this on every email, every quote you prepare, whatever it is. And then, of course, here you can do your phone number. And then you could do your email, but they're going to have your email when you send it. Then it's all there. Well, whatever, jumbled up. So that kind of gives you guys an idea on what you can do. And I do love the fact that I was able to open that in Google Docs and it wasn't all jumbled up. So if nobody has any questions, then I'm gonna stop recording. So before I start recording, let me know if you guys have any questions that we want to go back and cover. Do you want me to go back to any area where we were? Everybody seems like they're pretty good. So if that's the case, you also can print from right here too, all of your itinerary numbers, so you know what you're looking for, but I keep everything in a folder. So every trip that I do, I make me a manila folder just so you guys see it. Put their names, all their notes in the beginning. I keep everything so I can stay organized. So that is how you prepare a quote in Pleasant Holidays. Very basic, very simple. This is for beginners. As I mentioned, you can get way more, in depth in this, but those are the things you'll learn. You can click on tabs where it's going to show you vacation deals. Okay, so right now they got specials to Europe. Here's what's going on in the Caribbean. So you could even click here if you want to look for specials. You're welcome, Melanie. Family getaways, if you book by April 7th and travel by 12/16, so you could click on here and it's going to show you Bahama deals, Dominican deals, whatever. So there's a lot to access in here. Okay. So I am going to stop sharing my screen. And I am going, so all of you know how to reach out to me. I am going to give you my email in the chat. So any of you that want to keep this and contact me, you can. I'm always willing to help anybody. I cannot spell today. What am I doing? Why not travel on my mind? Okay, so there is my email. And anyone is more than welcome to contact me via text or telephone. There is my phone number. Okay. Oh, that just went to Anna only. Goodness gracious. Let me do it to everyone. Sorry. Oh, let's see. What am I missing? Email, phone number, and then my name might help just in case any of you need that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop recording. Stop screen sharing. And we are going to stop recording.